guys and girls, and welcome back to Xenus Minis. My name is Greg and this is episode 12 of Build and Paint, your weekly hobby show that answers all of your hobby questions like how can I strip plastic models safely, what is the best product to use, how exactly the stabilization talons work. I mean seriously, they offer exactly the same benefits as a Centurion's decimator protocols, but look how chunkier those guys are, and these Havocs have these little tiny claws and it makes no sense. Oh wait, no it does. Demonic gifts, they are servants of the dark gods, so infused with warp energy, and that's how those little claws can do that job. Okay, so I'm not salty about this, by the way, so we're not getting into that. I haven't even mentioned that there's only one Reaper chain cannon in that box set, so not salty. In fact, we're going to not discuss anymore things that could be considered salty. We're going to move them all to one side, and we're here to talk about how to strip your plastic models, but more importantly, how to strip them safely. So people do use things like acetone and you dunk it, and it's a bit of a risky business because if you leave it in there too long, it can end up melting or warping the plastic, which isn't great. I think we can all agree on that, but I use a product called Biostrip20, which, as far as I've used it, is pretty safe. I've not had any problems, any issues with it. If you've caught up with my recent video, I decided to strip back my plasma caliber. I wasn't happy with how that turned out. So for today, what I'm going to do is show you how Biostrip20 works and what the results are. So without any further ado, let's get stuck into the footage. First up, let's take a look at Biostrip20. So it's an all-purpose stripper, but don't go getting it confused with a Motley Crue groupie. This one is water-based, toxic-free, and it's also pretty cheap. Next, you'll need a plastic container to hold the component you're stripping, and I'm using a nylon brush to remove the first coat of paint. Wire brushes can scratch plastic, but a decent nylon brush will work just fine. And lastly, you'll need the component or model that you're looking to strip. So I've used Biostrip20 on both metal and plastic models with great results. I haven't tried it on resin, but I imagine it'll work just the same. Biostrip20 is basically just a pot of white goo, and all you need to do is dunk in your model or component until it is fully covered. So one of the benefits of using sub-assemblies is that you don't have to strip the entire model if you make a mistake. If you want to learn how to set up in sub-assemblies, then I've linked the video tutorial above. Once the component or model is fully covered, then just place it in the container and give it around about an hour for it to do its work. So I've left this component in the Biostrip for over 24 hours. It can obviously work much quicker than this, but I just wanted to demonstrate that if you do leave it in for a longer period of time, it won't damage the plastic. As you can see, the paint is blistering and starting to flake off, which is perfect. This is exactly what we want. All we need to do now is to start the cleaning process. So using that nylon brush, gently rub off all the surface paint with warm water, making sure you rinse as you go. So clearly I wasn't gentle enough and knocked the component off the paperclip, but Biostrip is non-toxic, so safe to handle. Just make sure you wash your hands afterwards. You'll want to keep at it until you've removed all that blistered paint, but don't worry if there's still some paint left on the model, you can just apply a second coat of Biostrip20. So after the first dunk and scrub, you can see that most of the top paint and primer has been removed with zero damage to the plastic component. There's still some residual paint left on the model, but also some paint stuck in those recesses, so we'll just need to apply a second coat of Biostrip20. Guys, now we're just going to repeat exactly the same process as we've been through, so just dunk the model again and leave it for around about an hour. Now that we've left the component for the recommended time, we're going to use a finer brush to remove all the paint from the recesses. I'm just using an old toothbrush here, and you'll want to rinse both the brush and the component as you go in a bit of warm water. Alternatively, you can also clean the component under a running tap, and this just makes the process go a little quicker. And there we go, we've rinsed the component and it's fully clean. You'll also notice that there is no damage or warping to the plastic whatsoever. The process is quick, it's simple, which means you'll be ready to prime and start again in no time. Guys, that is the end of today's episode. Really hope you've enjoyed. If you have, drop me a like, leave a comment below with your suggestions or any questions. If you haven't subbed already, then why not? Because we've got loads of great content coming up, so make sure you're clicking the bell icon, and that just means you're going to be notified every single time I upload a brand new piece of content. It also means you're in with the chance of winning a new box of Skitarii Rangers when the series comes to an end. And we are close to the end because next week we're carrying on painting the Ranger. So looking forward to get back into the painting. Hope you'll join me for that. But until then, thank you for watching, take care, and I'll see you next time.